Hey there, Cowboys fans, and welcome back to your go-to source for all things Dallas football. I'm your host, bringing you the latest from the heart of America's team. Picture this, it's week 8 of the 2025 NFL season, and the Dallas Cowboys are gearing up for a showdown against the Denver Broncos this Sunday.
Stick around, because we're diving deep into the injuries, the moves, and what it all means for Big D's playoff push. What an exciting time to be a Cowboys supporter. First off, let's break down the big news straight from the Star in Frisco. The Cowboys have been juggling their roster like a pro quarterback evading the rush these past few weeks, with players bouncing back from injuries and the front office making some savvy adjustments. Just ahead of this Broncos matchup, they've placed backup offensive lineman Trevor Keegan on injured reserve. That's IR for those new to the lingo, meaning he'll be sidelined for at least 4 weeks, to make room for activating wide receiver Jonathan Mingo. Mingo, folks, is a speedster they traded for earlier this year, and his return could add some serious firepower to that high-octane offense led by Dak Prescott. But hold on, that's not all. Last week, we saw cornerback Kalen Carson make his 2025 debut. Welcome back, Kalen. While wideout Jalen Cropper got waived and then scooped right back up onto the practice squad. Those were pretty straightforward calls, like handing off to a reliable running back. Now, though, things get trickier. There's a real chance starting center Cooper Beebe could be activated to the 53-man roster this week. Beebe, the rookie sensation out of Kansas State who was a third-round pick, has been nursing an injury but looks primed for a comeback. If that happens, Dallas needs to free up a spot, and right now, there aren't any obvious easy outs. No major injuries popping up, only stars like Trayvon Diggs and Donovan Wilson sat out Wednesday's practice, but those are short-term deals, nothing that'll land them on IR. So, who might be on the chopping block? Let's analyze the potential cut candidates, because this is where the Cowboys' depth is tested. First up, defensive back Elijah Clark. He's got that practice squad to roster vibe, similar to Cropper, but with safety Malik Hooker out and Wanya Thomas dealing with migraines, Clark's probably safe for now. He's too valuable in that secondary rotation. Then there's defensive end Marshawn Kneeland, the second-rounder from Western Michigan who's been battling an ankle issue. He's missed weeks 5 and 7, and his snap count is only around 38% when he plays. The Cowboys have solid depth at DE with guys like Micah Parsons wreaking havoc. Remember, Parsons is that generational talent, a linebacker who moonlights as an edge rusher and led the league in pressures last year. Kneeland isn't indispensable yet, so maybe IR is an option for him, buying time without a full cut. What about linebacker Damone Clark? This guy's a 2022 fourth-round pick out of LSU, known for his speed and tackling prowess, but lately, he's barely seen the field, just 2 defensive snaps in the last 3 weeks. The team seems to be rolling with Shamar James starting alongside Kenneth Murray while waiting for DeMarvion Overshown to return from his ACL tear. Clark's carved out a special teams role, but is that enough to keep him? It's a tough call in a linebacker room that's evolving. And don't overlook offensive lineman Hakeem Adeniji, the veteran who's been around the block with stints in Cincinnati and Minnesota. He stepped up for Tyler Smith in Week 3, but with backups like TJ Bass and Brock Hoffman showing promise, maybe the Cowboys feel confident enough to move on. Adeniji's a surprise candidate, but he's not a rookie like a Johnny Cornelius, who could hit the waiver wire if released. These aren't easy choices. Every player brings something to the table, but if Beebe's ready, that's priority number 1. The center position is crucial. It's the brain of the offensive line, snapping the ball and calling protections for Dak. Now, let's put this in historical context, because the Cowboys' legacy is all about resilience and smart roster building. Remember, this is America's team, a nickname they earned back in the 70s thanks to their national appeal and those iconic Super Bowl runs. From the doomsday defense of the Tom Landry era to the triplets, Emmitt Smith, Troy Aikman, and Michael Irvin, in the 90s, Dallas has won 5 Lombardi trophies, the last in 1995. Fast forward to today, and under head coach Mike McCarthy, who's got that Super Bowl pedigree from Green Bay, the Cowboys are perennial contenders in the NFC East. That division. It's a bloodbath, rivalries with the Eagles, who knocked us out in the playoffs last year, the Giants with their storied history, and even the Commanders trying to rebuild. Statistically, this injury shuffle comes at a pivotal time. The Cowboys are sitting at 4-3 through 7 weeks, right in the mix for the division lead. Beebe's activation could stabilize an offensive line that's allowed 15 sacks on Prescott so far, better than last year's pace, but still room for improvement. Compare that to their 2023 season, when injuries derailed a 12-5 campaign. If BB slots back in, expect the run game to pop. He's got that Mauler mentality, paving lanes for Ezekiel Elliott's successor or whoever's carrying the rock. And defensively, with Parsons on pace for another double-digit sack season, depth moves like this keep the unit fresh. I caught up with a fictional Cowboys insider, let's call him Tex Harlan, a longtime scout, for his take. Look, activating BB is a no-brainer, Tex says. The kid's got all-pro potential. He's smart, tough, and fits that Cowboys mold like Roger Staubach did back in the day. But cutting someone? That's Jerry Jones' world, bold decisions. Maybe Neyland to IR preserves the future while keeping the present intact. Spot on, Texas. And imagine what Dak Prescott might say post-practice. Cooper's a beast in the middle. Getting him back. That's huge for our rhythm. We're building something special here in Dallas. Fan reactions. Cowboys Nation is electric on social media. One diehard tweeted, BB back means we're unstoppable. Hashtag Go Cowboys, while another worried, don't cut Clark, we need that secondary depth against Denver's passing attack. It's that passion that makes AT&T Stadium, the spaceship of NFL venues, rock every home game. Looking ahead, this decision could ripple into the playoffs. If Dallas navigates these moves smoothly, they're poised for a deep run, maybe even challenging for the NFC title. But a wrong cut could expose weaknesses, especially with tough games against Philly and New York looming. Prediction time. I see BB suiting up, Neyland hitting IR, and the Cowboys rolling to a 31-20 win over the Broncos, with CD Lamb hauling in 2 touchdowns. Lamb, by the way, is that dynamic wide-out who shattered records, reminiscent of Dez Bryant's celebration days. In closing, Cowboys fans, this is why we love the NFL. The drama, the decisions, the glory. If BB returns strong, watch out, League. Tune in Sunday for the Broncos clash, and don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit that bell for more updates. How about them Cowboys? Let's make this season legendary.